Hey everyone, Stefan Schoenfelder, Dakota Ironworks. Just got my new 255 upgraded from my about 6-year-old 252. I'm not going to do a review on the welder right now. The only time I've got under my hood with this is building this cart, so we're going to highlight the cart. But I will tell you this, that the lead is very, very finicky about being as straight as possible, more so than any other MIG welder that I've used. My 252, I could have a full loop and be welding upside down and it would just feed. This one, you get a lot of burn back. I've adjusted the wire speed. That seems to help a bit. But anyways, we're going to take a look at the cart. So we'll start at the bottom here. I have a lot of agricultural customers where I'm at. So a lot of times I'm trying to pull this thing through a dug field or something. So I've got plenty of ground clearance here. Pneumatic casters in the front. Obviously I haven't fully aired them up yet. Those are 6-inch, and then in the back I've got 10-inch pneumatic wheels. As far as mounting the unit, I retained the feet that came with it, but those were only held on by a 1/4-inch bolt. So I went ahead and drilled those holes out to 3/8. I took the entire cover off and had to drill new holes in the machine. When I did that, be especially careful on this side here because you're right by that circuit board. So I had a shop vac going, sucking up all the little metal particles before they could even land. Of course, the machine was unplugged. And drilled all those out, and then I've got heavy angle iron. This is all made from materials that I had on hand. Maybe you don't have the volume of materials I do. Maybe you have more. I'm not saying this is the end-all be-all cart, but it definitely works for me. I just boxed in my angles there, and 2 reasons. One, boxing it in is the strongest way to do it, and 2, I didn't have to cope my angles at all. I just had my vertical angles here and just laid my other angle right on top of it. So I put this in my service truck. So this right here that holds my cord actually will press against the side of the truck. That way the machine itself is not touching anything. I just run a strap through there and there. And going around to the back here, I've got some 6-inch channel. This piece here is about 2/3 the height of the tank. I've just got a small Q tank that I use. And then I've got about a 4-inch piece down there. I will tell you that I started with this tank here, which is a slightly smaller diameter. And I set up my channel for that with this other tank, and when I went to put this tank in, it was about an 1/8 inch bigger in diameter. So I only had this piece here tacked on, so I had to bust that off and move it out so it would accommodate the larger tank. So be aware of that. You're not going to get the same tank every time. And then on my hold down here, you can see I just welded a couple pieces of flat bar with a bolt, and I took some 1/8x2, and what I've got over here is one of these rubber ball and socket mounts. You see them a lot on semis for the battery hold downs. It's pretty nice. You just stretch it out and undo it, and then this swings open. I double hinged it just to make things easier. So then you can swap your tank out, and then you just stretch that guy, put it back in. It's good and solid. I put my leads on this side here, and of course I'm gonna have to open up this side if I want to swap out tanks. Or spools, I'm sorry. So I did something that's maybe a little over the top here, but it looks really cool and it's super functional. I had these pieces that I had already made lying around for something else anyways that never got used. So you can kind of see how everything's put together there. And then way back in there, right here. This guy is another spring. So when you want to open it, all you do, just press down on the pedal, and then that spring in there pushes it out a little bit. And then what I did over here, back in the front, is I just welded this little piece of 1/4 inch stainless rod on there, and then I put a tack here, and you can see it's just, that rod is just above, but when you open this, that little rod rides over the little tack, and that just holds everything open. So that way you've got full access to everything. And then when you want to close it, you just close it. So really simple. I like how it pushes out. I like how it's a good solid mount. So that's my cart. Now I've got to just clean all the spatter off, put a paint job on it, and it'll be good to go. Thanks for watching.